Hey there, I'm Avik and with me you're watching Your Literary World. Today's topic is all about that how to face the NET examination if you are from English literature. This is the video that you are waiting for. This video is completely focused on the strategies that you must focus on, and this is not anecdotal but scientific. So when it comes to preparing for NET examination, the first book that you must read is Andrew Sanders, but it does not mean that if you don't read Andrew Sanders, you are not going to qualify the NET examination. I am recommending Andrew Sanders because from the NET examination, they have questioned from Andrew Sanders that they simply copy pasted. And apart from that, there is another book which is known as Routledge. Andrew Carter, possibly the name of that writer. I'm going to insert the name of these books. If you are following these books, the way that you are reading, the effectiveness can rise drastically. That's the reason I am saying that if you are preparing for NET English literature, the first book that you must consider, it is without any doubt Andrew Sanders. If you want to read anything else, it's absolutely fine. You can go for William J. Long, you can go for Crompton Rickett, you can go for David Dacis. These are the secondary sources. You can go for Michael Alexander, you can go for Edward Albert. These books are there, but read Andrew Sanders and simultaneously follow another book which you personally feel that can provide you satisfaction. But Andrew Sanders is the must-read book. You can also go for William Henry Hudson. Some of my students, they did not read Andrew Sanders, but they qualified with JRF just by reading William Henry Hudson. But there are other processes also that we are going to consider. Now the question that you must ask yourself, that how I am going to read. Go to the previous year questions, collect all of them from 2010 to 2023 December, up to December, and if you can get the 2024 questions, the upcoming examination of that June, then just merge that thing in one PDF. So all the previous year questions, they are compiled, they are completely merged in one PDF. Now you are starting to read Beowulf, or maybe you are starting to read T.S. Eliot. You can go for Virginia Woolf, you can go for any other writer, can be Geoffrey Chaucer. So what you need to do, first read about the writer. For example, you are reading Beowulf, or maybe you are reading Whitsit. Read not like greater ways. For Old English literature, they do not ask many questions. Just basic understanding of Old English literature can be enough. So what you need to do, go to the previous year question and simultaneously you are reading a textbook. For example, you are having Andrew Sanders in your hand. What you need to do, first you are going to confront the name. The first name that you are going to confront, you have to go to the PDF and you have to search the name. If I am confronting the name Chaucer, Chaucer, I am going to go to that PDF and I am going to search Geoffrey Chaucer, or simply Chaucer, not full name but the last name, Chaucer. You are going to confront that how many questions they have asked regarding Chaucer. Many questions you are going to confront, and by confronting these questions you can clearly see that to what extent you have to read. If you don't know the direction, there is a huge possibility in the competitive examination you are going to fall. Another example, you are starting with Geoffrey Chaucer. Chaucer has many books, for example the Book of the Duchess, the Roma de la Dors, the Parliament of Fowls, Troilus and Cressida, Canterbury Tales. These all books can be there. Treatise on Astrolabe, the complaint of Chaucer to his purse. These works are there. What you need to do, the moment you are going to confront any of a specific work of a specific writer, go to that PDF and search the name. Example, Book of the Duchess. The moment you are going to put the name Book of the Duchess, you will confront how many questions and from where they have asked regarding Book of the Duchess. If you go for the Parliament of Fowls, if you go for Troilus and Cressida, if you go for Canterbury Tales, you will confront all the questions they have asked, and I can give you the assurance you need not to read all the other options they are providing. It is British literature. In the NET examination, 40 to 50% of the questions they are holding from British literature. I don't need to go for the options they are providing. I am going to only for the correct answer. By doing that thing, you can make yourself sure that from this writer they are asking these questions. And if from the option, there are total 3 options apart from the correct option, there are 3 writers in that option or 3 books in that option, and if it is needed, they are going to ask question again. So I am going to confront that question in the NET examination paper again and again and again. So I don't need to visit all the options they are providing. If the option is important, they have asked questions regarding that option simultaneously. So don't just focus on going for the previous year question and reading all the options. You are going to create extra burden for yourself. So if I am reading Geoffrey Chaucer, I am going to just go to the previous year question and I am going to search the name Chaucer. If I am reading the work of that particular writer, I am going to go to the PDF and search the name of that particular work. By doing that, I can clearly see what kind of questions they are asking from which work. This is, you can say, win-to-win strategy. You can at least now understand that from this writer I have to read this, from that writer I have to read that. No more than that. But it does not mean that whatever question they have asked, you are going to read every single thing, you are going to cram every single thing, and you are going to go for that examination. No, there is a possibility they can repeat, but there is a huge possibility the questions they are not going to repeat. The questions can be from that particular book. That's the reason to go for the previous year question. By going for previous year question, if a name of a work they have asked 5 times, it is providing you the information that how important that work or that writer is usually, and you have to focus that particular writer. So you can do when it comes to poetry, when it comes to essays, when it comes to criticism, anything. It is a sure win rule through which you can understand from this writer they are asking this question. Go for 2 simultaneous books, Andrew Sanders and anything you like. Most of the cases you can confront these kind of statements in the YouTube. People are going to tell you that Andrew Sanders, it is not for the people, those who are for NET examination. You are from postgraduate background. You must know that if from a book they are asking 20 questions and if from a book they are asking 5 questions, the first book which is considered as hard, they are asking 20 questions from there, and there is another book which you can say minor book and it is very lucid in language, they are asking 5 questions, then obviously I am going to go for the 20 questions. It is through hardship that you are going to build yourself. And Andrew Sanders is not a book which you can say I cannot understand anything. That's the reason I am saying that pick Andrew Sanders and simultaneously pick another book through which you can say, okay, this book is giving me the content in the heart. Getting my point? So read simultaneously 2 books. One is that recommending my book and another is pick yourself, whatever book you can. Now the scientific techniques that you must remember and that you completely focus on in order to qualify this examination. The first is revision. This is one of the most crucial points that you must focus on. What most of the cases students are doing, they are going for the NET examination and at the end they are revising every single thing. Now let me reveal you the scientific data that I have collected, and you must know these things. If you can understand how your brain works, we are not something which you can say all people are enlightened. Most of the cases, if you read the history of human psychology, it's about the brain of the primates. 98% of our brains, it is equal to any chimpanzee or any bonobos. Getting my point? So understand your brain first. So first is Ebbinger's forgetting curve. What is forgetting curve? If you are reading something today, right now, and if you do not revise that thing tomorrow, you are going to forget 80 to 90% of your stuff, or at least 60 to 80% of your stuff. If you do not revise tomorrow and after that day, 80 to 90% of the things are going to be done completely. You cannot remember any single thing except that 10%. This is how human brain works. That's the reason, understand that how you are going to revise. So what is the thing that you must note right now? Whatever I am reading right now, if I have 15 to 20 minutes time a day after revising that thing today, I am going to revise, and whatever I am studying right now, I am going to revise tomorrow. Then I am going to provide 2 to 3 days of that gap and I am going to revise it again. Then 6 to 7 days of that gap that I am going to revise it again. 10 days to 12 days of that gap, I am going to revise it again. 15 to 17 days of a gap, then I am going to revise it again. This is needed. If you cannot revise, forget about NET examination. You have heard, na? Students are saying, oh, I cannot remember anything in the NET examination. How this is happening? Because you don't know your brain. People are coming, they are saying in the issue that read for 20 hours, 25 hours. You don't even know the science. And we people love what is hard. Most of the cases, if I am saying that if you drink that poison you're going to die, and someone is saying that you can taste that thing, obviously you will say that person is to an extent great, because it is providing you a kind of motivation. That's the reason motivation does not work well. It is about behavior. If you can ingrain that thing in your behavior, you can bring miracles. So that's what I am saying, that when it comes to the forgetting curve, if you want to fight against that forgetting curve, and if you want to remember 90 to 100% of the things that you have studied, it is a necessary deal that you revise every single thing in a specific day of interval. Whatever I am reading right now, I am going to revise that thing tomorrow. 2 day or 3 day gap, revise again. 7 to 6 days gap, revise again. 12 to 15 days gap, revise again. 1 month gap, revise again. That revision is the key. But it is not about revision is the key, but how you are revising. This is needed. This is known as spaced repetition as well as forgetting curve. Now when you are taking note, I am going to provide you, you can say, the elixir, which is known as active recalling. What is active recalling? For example, you are reading this book, Geoffrey Chaucer's Canterbury Tales. This is the Penguin Classics. I have the translation. So maybe you are starting with this. Okay. So you are finishing this page. What you are going to do, you are going to just close that book and you are going to ask yourself that whatever I have studied, maybe 10 minutes or 25 minutes, how much I can recall. Take a pen and paper, just close that book and write the things down. Getting my point? If you are reading this only passage, like 10 to 15 line of that passage you are reading, what you need to do, just stop that book, close that book, take a pen and paper and write a summary. Not 15 lines of the summary, just 3 to 4 lines of the summary, which are holding key points that you have studied in that passage. If you are reading the entire page and if the page is holding maybe 50 lines, what you need to do, 5 to 10 lines I am going to provide you, and you have to give yourself these 5 to 10 lines through which you can tell yourself that in that entire 15 to 60 line, this is the key concept. Getting my point? So make it a summary with the vital point. But you are not going to write things down like, oh, this is the thing, write that thing, like not copy pasting. In Indian education system, it is quite great if you copy and paste. But I am providing here the tool through which you can make yourself greater in terms of understanding. This is known as active recalling. Read the passage, stop that book, write the thing down. Read that passage, close that book, write the thing down. This is known as active recalling. Apart from that, the Pomodoro technique that you must understand. What is Pomodoro technique? 25 minutes you are going to read, 5 minutes you are going to provide yourself a kind of joy. It does not mean that you are going to go for any kind of porn website and you are going to watch porn, or you are going to go for any Instagram account and you are going to surf. I am not saying these things. These are all dopamine hit, and this can destroy your life. It's a kind of short-term poison. It is provided to us in order to destroy our entire life. So what you can do, 5 minutes, whatever give you joy. For example, it can be exercise, it can be roaming around, it can be singing, it can be dancing. 5 minutes provide yourself after 25 minutes of the study. I am not here as a motivational guru, and I cannot say to you that read 30 hours a day and all of a sudden you can understand, oh, what the hell, 24 hours that we are getting, how can we read for 30 hours? That's the problem. Motivation versus science. So 25 minutes, 5 minutes gap. 25 minutes again, 5 minutes gap. 25 minutes again, 5 minutes gap. 25 minutes again, 5 minutes gap. After 3 or 4 Pomodoro technique, after 3 or 4 Pomodoros, you are going to provide yourself 15 to 30 minutes of that break. You deserve it. Enjoy. Whatever you want to do that thing. Enjoy your time. Getting my point? So 25, 5, 25, 5, 25, 5, 25, 5. After 3 to 4 Pomodoros, you are going to provide yourself 15 minutes of break to 30 minutes of break. You can do whatever you want in that 50 to 30 minutes. This is known as Pomodoro technique. I am beseeching you, follow this technique, at least go for 30 to 40 days, then go through your entire schedule, entire past history, and let yourself know these things are working or not. If these things are not working, go to my comment section and provide Gali whatever you want to do. But at the same time, remember, Be truthful to yourself. I'm saying you have 25 minutes of the Pomodoro and you are only following 5 minutes of Pomodoro and 25 minutes of that whatever garbage you are consuming, and then you're saying, oh, I cannot do anything. It does not work. It's like you are killing yourself internally and accusing the other person. And humans are quite great in that, accusing every single person, not oneself. So these techniques are important. You can follow that thing. Now let's go for behaviorism. What is behaviorism? It's about understanding that how your brain works. I cannot say that if you follow all the techniques, you are not going to be inclined towards your past habits. Our life is like a pendulum, going here and again there. It's like visiting the present as well as the past, as well as the future. Getting my point? So if you cannot study anything, not a single thing, what you need to do, just sit yourself and say, today I'm going to read for 15 minutes. Yes, only 15 minutes. Ask yourself that I am going to read 15 minutes for one single week. Then after 1 week, 6 days. Every single time, every single month, take 4 to 5 days of that gap. It does not mean that you're going to do every single thing. What you need to do in that gap, 6 days study, 1 day gap. What you need, or 2 days gap, whatever you can prefer. In that 1 or 2 days, you are going to revise whatever you have studied in that 4 or 5 days. Now the thing is, I am not saying that don't revise after 1 day or 2 days. That revision process you are following, but whatever you have studied in entire 6 days, you are going to revise everything in that day. So for example, it's going to take 3 to 2 hours to revise every single thing, because you have already revised that thing 2 times in 1 week. Getting my point? So after providing 2 or 3 hours in that holiday week, you can say, can be Sunday, can be Monday, can be Tuesday, any day. Go to any kind of thing that you want to. You can play cricket, you can go for meditation, you can go for painting, art, dancing, anything you want to. Follow that thing, I have no problem. You can go for movies, you can hang out with people, anything you can do, just do that thing. Just at least have 4 to 5 days gap in your entire month. It is needed. Your brain also wants to provide a kind of relaxation. If you cannot provide that relaxation, your brain is going to be hanged, just like mobile phone. I am going to talk about sleep also. This is one of the worst problem with the educational system, like stupid understanding of science. So behavior. So in the first week, you are going to say to you in the 6 days that I am going to read only for 15 minutes. Fair deal, I guess. At least you can read 15 minutes because you can scroll for 300 hours. Then after calculating that thing, that how many hours I have studied, provide yourself another 15 minutes. Now 30 minutes I am going to read for next 6 to 7 days. Again 45 minutes. Now 15 minutes you are increasing. Again now in 1 hour. So within one single month, from 0 you are starting to read for 1 hour. Can you imagine that thing? This is a drastic shift in your existence. If you are studying 5 hours, then you can go for 5:30 hours because you have already have the habit. If you have 6 hours, you are studying, go for 6:30, then go for 7. But I am not going to say if you are studying for 12 hours, go for 15 hours, go for 17 hours, go for 90 hours per day. This does not work. This is known as brain. We must provide relaxation to that brain. Do that thing and don't abuse yourself. Worst problem in our generation. All the educational system, they are so high to say to the student, everyone is unique. But since everyone is unique, you have to treat every individual uniquely. But what people are doing, abusing not only other people but themselves. Getting my point? This journey is lonely. Remember that. The relation that we are holding right now, it's parasocial. You don't know me and I don't know you. If there are 1,000 students who are listening to this video, I can give you the assurance that whatever you are doing, you can increase the thing that you are doing. The effectiveness will be increased. But these are all scientific processes that I am talking about. Getting my point? So focus on these things. Don't just jump like I have not studied from 1 single hour from 1 year and I am going to read 10 hours. Yes, you can read. For 3 days you are going to read. But after 1 month you are not going to read 1 single page. This is how human works. Getting my point? So give yourself small dose every single day. At least do it for 30 to 40 days. then you can see the change. That's the reason I am saying start with 15 minutes, small amount of 15 minutes, you can understand. Start with that. Now let's talk about that sleep. One of the most garbage statement in the entire history of literature and other studies apart from science is read for 15 hours, read for 20 hours. If you are genetically well formed, there's a possibility that you are great at genetics, then you can just sleep for 3 to 4 to 5 hours. But it is anecdotal. There is not a single example in the whole history which is saying that if I can just sleep for 4 to 5 hours, I can survive. If you can take proper sleep 7 to 9 hours a day, whatever you are reading, it is installing in your brain. For example, you are downloading a movie. It takes time to download the entire thing. Sleep is the thing. The entire thing that you have studied, it is the downloadable stuff. Through sleeping, through that process, the entire stuff is going in. That's the reason there are stages of sleep. Dream sleep, REM sleep, rapid eye movement. These sleeps are there. Dream sleep is quite important and foundation to our knowledge, foundation to our memorization. If your sleep is destroyed, and parents are quite kind of confused, they are saying to their other people, to the other parents, do you know, my son, my daughter, they only slept for 3 hours. Oh, what a great thing. It's like digging your own grave. Just search YouTube or maybe go to Google, not YouTube, there are many stupidity in YouTube. Go to Google, search the scientific article. The effectiveness of proper sleep, the effectiveness of proper diet, the effectiveness of proper exercise. 10-15 minutes of exercise, go to a great diet, 3.5 liter water, like around, and take proper sleep, 7 to 9 hours, no more than that. If you are taking less than 7 hours, you are confronting yourself in the future to a great diseases. There is a possibility, I'm not saying you are going to confront, there is a possibility you are going to invite diseases. If you are sleeping more than 9 hours, 7 to 9 hours, if you are sleeping more than 9 hours, you are inviting premature death. This is the same case when you are taking less sleep and you are taking more sleep. 7 to 9 hours, this is the approximate line. Now don't give me the bullshit that every single people are holding different states because everyone is unique. No, you are not unique. Not all people are unique because you all are following the same path. Everyone is going for NET examination, someone is going for IIT, anything. So if you are unique, you are going to be in different stages of life. But everyone is doing the same thing. How it's possible? What is uniqueness then? You can do the same thing in different ways. It's great. It is uniqueness. I can understand. But everyone is doing the same thing in same ways. So how it is uniqueness? Tell me. So take proper sleep. And those who are saying sleep less, study more, stupidity. Complete stupidity. By the way, you can go for small naps. There is a possibility you can sleep for 5 to 6 hours and then you can just go for 30 minutes, 50 minutes, 30 minutes, 50 minutes of that nap. This is also effect. Most of the cases, the problem that you are following, that I cannot remember anything. I don't know why I am forgetting every single thing. There is a possibility because of your sleep pattern, your exercise, you are not taking proper care of yourself, you are not reading the memorization process, the active recalling and the spaced repetition, the Pomodoro technique, you are not following anything. You are saying science is garbage, but you are using your mobile, which is the gift of science. Remember that. Getting my point? So follow these techniques. This is hard. That's the reason I can give you the guarantee. If there are 1,000 students which are watching, there will be 1 to 2 to 10 max to max. They are going to follow. Most of the people, they are going to quit. But it's their life, it's their choice. We cannot do anything. We can just provide you the framework through which you can follow. If you don't want to, it's fine. If you want to follow, it's absolutely fine. No hard feelings. So these are the things. Follow that thing and you will get the result. Don't wake up all of a sudden at 1 a.m. and start studying. If you have the habit, then it's absolutely fine. I'm not saying that you have to wake up in the morning. The circadian rhythm, we all people, we have different circadian rhythm. But this is the 7 to 9 hours we need to sleep. You just cannot understand what kind of vital thing you are missing. The thing that I have given the example of downloading. If you stop the download all of a sudden, what's going to happen? Getting my point? So it is the sleep through the download process is going to be completed. This is all for the sleep. Apart from that, you can go for other books of literary theory. You can go for Pramod K. Nair. I have studied one book from when I was preparing for NET examination, and that was Routledge. And I have forgotten the name of that book, but I am going to provide you the picture of that book. You can follow that book. Quite great. Many way better than the market guidebook that you are following. This is my assurance. You can follow that book. Simple book, but great. Routledge Book of Literary Theory and Cultural Studies. For literary criticism, go for M.A.R. Habib. 100 to 150 pages of literary criticism can be seen in that thing. If you want to go for the American literature, it is Ashok Sengupta and Krishna, possibly the name. Just a minute. I guess I have that book. Okay, so these are the books that I am having right now. Just here, it is Andrew Sanders. It's quite thick. It's like 756 pages, but summary, if you want to cut that thing down, it will be 500 approximately. This is Routledge book. You can use that thing also. These two books are quite great. This is Andrew Sanders. This is Routledge, written by Ronald Carter and John McRae. These are the two writers. Ronald Ronald, Carter Carter, and John McRae. And this is Andrew Sanders. Must read. Apart from that, you can go for Indian literature, A Concise History of Indian Literature in English. Arvind Krishna Malhotra, A.K. Malhotra's book. This book is quite great. By the way, there is another book, Outline of Arvind Krishna Malhotra. Don't purchase that book because this book will be costing around 450 to 500. It costed me, I don't know, like under 500 it costed me, right? So you can follow this book for Indian literature, and in that book there are total 5 chapters that they included. One is translation into English, this pulp fiction, modern review, history of literature. These things you can be confronting in that book. So purchase that book. This book is quite awesome for Indian literature. You can go for Iyengar also. I have that Iyengar book here, so you can follow that book. And from American literature, by the way, there is no specific book regarding world literature, but for American literature, the diasporic writer, the Canadian writer, the Afro-American, you can follow this book. This book is great, extraordinary book. A Short History of American Literature, written by Krishna Sen and Ashok Sengupta. I am going to provide you the picture. It costed me 257 rupees 4-5 years back, or maybe 7-8 years back. I was in my undergraduate. 2016 to 2019, I guess my undergraduate was. So these are the books that you can follow. And from literary criticism, as I have said, go for M.A.R. Habib. Anything you need, you can ask me. We have the Telegram channel, Your Literary World, and I am going to provide you the link of the WhatsApp channel also. You can ask me if you have any question, and the mobile number is 9907178418. You can WhatsApp me, and I have also the Instagram account, Your Literary World. That's all for today, and I hope you have liked that lecture. Just follow the things that I have said. Quite useful, and don't worry. If you follow that thing, obviously I'm going to provide you the lecture in YouTube and the other post that in that Instagram. Don't worry, the quizzes in the Telegram. Don't worry, I'm here for you. Whatever, if you have any problem, let me know. Adios.